Hi, everybody. Welcome to Just Talk. Hi, Sean.
Hi Vonda, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Lydia's not here. She is a little under the weather, but um, no doubt, I think she'll be here for the next one. So, with that being said, of course, the name of this podcast is Just Talk. We're only 2 days away, 48 hours, less than 48 hours now from November the 3rd. So we just want to Sean and I want to have a real discussion about some things that concern us. So we don't just care about Vonda and Sean, we care about all of you as well. So basically, we both feel like it's time. We only have today and tomorrow, but we both feel like it's time to seriously get prepared in light of things that are currently happening. Um, Walmart is preparing for civil unrest. I'm sure all of you guys have seen that if you watch the national news. Businesses have already started boarding up their businesses to prepare for civil unrest. So we just want to give all of you some helpful tips, things that we are doing and things that we're going to try our best to be prepared for. So Sean and I have we've already voted. Lydia has voted already as well. So we won't have to go out on November the 3rd. But after what happened, and I think it was Texas, I'm going to let Sean take over with that. I do not want anybody to, one, be scared to vote. Nobody should have to be scared to go and vote for whoever they want to vote for. Period. Just be safe, keep your cell phones charged, be aware if it's at all possible, especially if you're voting for Joe Biden, take a bunch of people with you that haven't voted. But if you can, don't go out by yourself. Keep your cell phone charged, ready to record. Do not get tricked, baited, or goaded into a conversation with somebody that doesn't necessarily support the same party that you support. Don't do it. That's a trick. There's not a doubt in my mind now that people will be out to intentionally create chaos, cause people to get arrested. We don't need that. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you.
So it's been two different situations that have occurred. One of them was in Texas where some Trump supporter vehicles surrounded a Biden bus, the Biden campaign bus, and I've seen videos where it looked like they were trying to ride one of the escorting vehicles off the side of the road. Um, then we have the issue that occurred in Philadelphia where they had a voter march and police seemed to tear gas the people just before they got to the polls. The issues are going to be different than any other year that most of us have lived through. I mean, the closest comparison I can think of is during the whole civil rights era. It's to me it's kind of along that line where people are willing to step beyond just simple politics and turn things into a physical, at least highly charged verbal situation. But when was the last time you seen people trying to ride a campaign bus off the side of the road or gas people as they're on the way
Mm-hmm.
to protests? I mean, on the way to the polls. It's different. Okay, it's a scary time, but it's not something that we can't get beyond. Just make sure that you're taking somebody with you when you go to vote. Make sure as soon as somebody starts approaching you and they look like they're going to cause a little trouble, you get that cell phone out and you record everything that's going on. Okay, because you're gonna need it in the court of law.
I went to the grocery store um, today, and the grocery store is a store called Giant, and they were giving away toilet paper and hand sanitizer for free, no cost to the customers. And so I was like, okay, oh wow, that's awesome. That's so nice. Then I get home, I bought a paper, so I go straight for the ads, of course. And on the front of the CVS ad, it says, we're helping you stay prepared. And I'm like, okay, we've got Walmart, we've got small business owners boarding up their businesses. There's, we've got to be ready. My personal plan, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere on November the 3rd. So if I had not already voted, I would be voting early, early as possible, but definitely not going alone. But that aside, we're going to vote. Joe Biden is going to be our next president. I'm not going anywhere on November the 4th. I'm staying at home. I'm not going anywhere. Can you all, I mean, Trump basically endorsed what happened with the Biden campaign bus.
Yeah.
Can you guys imagine what is going to happen when Trump is announced the loser, the biggest loser? He's not going to be elected for a second term. It's going to be, it is going to be complete chaos. And then, Sean, what happened with the ballots in Texas?
Yeah, the 120, I think it was 125,000 ballots. They were going to try to throw them out because they were done as drive-through ballots or something like that, where people were able to drive up and drop their ballots off. And so the GOP in Texas wanted to challenge those ballots, but the federal court in Texas ruled that they have to keep those ballots. And what's really good about that ruling is, it doesn't give them a lot of time to contest it between now and the election.
Yes.
My issue is these people fight so hard to keep people from voting. Like, they use the excuse that, well, they give these ballots out to dead people. Well, if you hire people that actually know how to, check for death certificates, check to make sure that these people are still alive, then we won't run into these issues. That's exactly what you're supposed to be doing at the polls. It's not like somebody can just walk up, I got the hat on and the glasses and the mustache now, and then I'm going to come up with the wig and vote again.
Right.
Okay, they have procedures in place. They just, some people just stop at the confirmation bias. The president says that they're going to be illegal ballots. They must be illegal ballots.
True.
Like, for real, I've never seen people that are so willing to just take somebody's word for it.
I've never experienced or seen anything like this either, and certainly wasn't. I in 2020. I just was never expecting anything like this, and for him to just, I mean, literally, he's been able to do whatever he wants to do from the time
Yeah.
he took office. He's been able to do whatever he wants to do. So, I want to ask you a question, Sean, if you don't mind, just giving, you don't have to get too personal, but just maybe give everybody a little bit of your background and maybe give some safety tips and that are easy and doable for the people that are tuning in and watching.
No problem. So, if anybody's seen my heard my podcast on the Bodyguard podcast, Bubba's Bodyguard podcast, they know that I owned a martial arts school for the majority of my adult life. I actually closed it in 2013, but I continue to instruct martial arts at the libraries and things like that whenever they want somebody to do something that's self-defense related. I'm also a senior security manager at the place that I currently work. I'm not going to discuss that, but it is a casino, and it has its ups and its downs as far as dealing with incidents are concerned. So I have practical experience with this kind of stuff. I've done security for numerous events. In any case, that's where I've specialized the majority of my life. So a couple simple things that people can do as they're going to the polls to ensure safety is there is safety in numbers. Okay. Like you stated earlier, if somebody is trying to engage you in a negative fashion, do not reciprocate. You can just ignore. They can say all the things that they want to say, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you thrown out so that your vote doesn't count. Okay. If I go to the polls today or tomorrow and I get arrested, how am I going to vote? In some states, you can't even vote if you were a felon. Okay, so they're going to try to goad you so that your vote is canceled. That's not a good thing. So safety in numbers, don't let them goad you. Make sure that you're not just in your cell phone the whole time. People will victimize those that are not aware of their surroundings.
Yes.
It's common. Like so a criminal does not want to attack easy prey. Just like any one of us, we want to have the easiest time at our jobs as possible. A criminal's job is to commit whatever crime they're doing, whether that's assault or theft or whatever they happen to be doing. So they're not going to go for like the hugest, biggest person. They're going to go for the person with their head in the phone. Okay. Make sure that you're voting as early as possible, because like you stated, it's only 2 days left. Okay. You do not want to take the chance that you show up in the middle of the day during voting and there's just a long line. I believe that a lot of Republicans have waited to vote in person, and that's their prerogative. But if you are voting in person, just make sure that you're allotting enough time to do so. I went and voted in person. The state that I'm in had early voting started, I guess, at the beginning of the week. I don't know, the end of last week. And I voted in person. I did the paper ballot, put it through a little scanner and everything, because I don't trust mailing my ballot in. I mean, the USPS has been very reliable with these ballots.
That's a fact.
If you don't have mace or anything like that, I don't really advocate mace. Have some wasp spray. The stream is direct. And it reaches like 20 feet because it's designed so you don't get stung. And you can use the edge of the can as a force multiplier. Okay. Carry a flashlight with you. If it's dark out, shine it in somebody's eyes. Run. Safety in numbers.
Definitely safety.
You're like me and you don't have any friends. That's what the other part is. That other stuff. Report attempts to intimidate. Okay. Make sure you film as much as possible and report it. These people are going to think that they can intimidate you. That's not cool.
No, it's not.
In these tips, because we are Americans, these tips go for anybody that feel as though they are good people and they're scared to vote.
Yes. Please go vote. Don't let anybody take that away from you. So, and with that being said, we'll go ahead and wrap up. So, Sean, let everybody know where they can find you at.
I'm Indigenous Patriot on everything. You can look me up at WIKWEKO on Twitter, but if you just look up Indigenous Patriot, that's me.
Yep. And he has his own YouTube podcast as well. So subscribe, follow, check him out, and leave him some comments. And I am, of course, Vonda. And you can find me at Just Talk or Ovonda on all social media outlets. You can also check out ojusttalk.net for merch. There's also a tab for the podcast, so you can subscribe. And remember, the comeback is always greater than the setback. Go vote, stay safe, and we'll see all of you all the next time. Sean, I wanted you to say that one. Say it again. I'm sorry.
Lepichkanewe. I'll see you again.
All right.